Friends, welcome back to Raju Notes channel. This fortnight's, the October's first fortnight's current affairs and SMT update. This video is best viewed on mobile and full screen in a portrait mode. And if you are new to my channel, please do subscribe it. And if you are already a subscriber, please introduce this channel to the officers taking Part B, Part D, or any of your friends who is a IO or a GTO. It is also useful for them for the lecturates and other up-to-date activities. Okay, so let's start. This fortnight has been a good one for India as far as the Atmanirbhar Bharat in defense sector is concerned. You can say this fortnight has been for the missiles. So be little attentive now while we are discussing this missiles, and I'm sure one question might be framed on the type of missiles which have been recently inducted or to be inducted into the Indian Armed Forces. Gentlemen, what you see here, the missile is the Nirbhaya missile with a range of 1,000 kilometers. And amid this standoff, this is a Nirbhaya is a subsonic missile. It's a subsonic cruise missile. We will talk about there are subsonic, there are supersonic, there were hyper. So just keep remembering their classification and their names. So Nirbhaya is a subsonic cruise missile. That is, it has got a speed which are lesser than 1 Mach. That is, Nirbhaya travels at about 7.7 Mach speed and has a 1,000 kilometers range, and it has got a solid rocket booster, and it has got a very good single shot kill ratio of about over 90%. That is really a good percentage for any missile. Okay, next in line is the BrahMos, which we already have. Like BrahMos missile is a supersonic missile, not a subsonic. It's a supersonic missile, and it has been successfully test fired with the indigenous booster and airframe. A point to be noted, though it is in a collaboration with Russia, it has been done. It has also capable of hitting 400 kilometers as compared to the Nirbhaya, but though the range is less, but it flies at a speed of almost the 3 times of the speed, that is 3 Mach. And this is the second successful missile which has been tested in this fortnight. Okay, a Chennai-based company, which is called as Agnikul Cosmos. It has signed a deal with US-based Alaska Aerospace to launch their Agniban rocket from a complex in Alaska. So, it is really heartening for us to see that the Indian startups or the Indian companies are entering into the defense sector, not only in India but also in the US based sector. And I really feel happy for this advancement in our own technology. On the lines of the Air Force One, which carries the President of US to various places, India has also acquired one of the two Air India One plane, which will be used by President, Vice President, and PM. And this is a modified Boeing's 777 aircraft, and it was actually supposed to come in August only, but because of some delays, it has finally arrived now. And the capabilities of this aircraft are like it has got features akin to that of Air Force One of US. It is equipped with a laser based missile defense system, and it can also provide office space, meeting space. It has got advanced communication systems, and it can fly over 17 hours continuously without refueling. So that is something a good one for India on lines of US. So let's see, we hope we never get to use it, but okay. Recently, Google Play Store, which is supposed to be an Android based version, he said that Google will charge about 30% for any kind of an app which has to be hoisted on Play Store. So this was kind of a dent onto all the major players, and because of this, I think whatever happens for good. Because of this, there are about 56 founders of various startups, which include big names like Vijay Shekhar, Razorpay, Policy Bazaar, and they all came together and they discussed that we need to now prepare an alternative for Google Play. As of now, Google Play is dominating the Android industry. So if this something can be made indigenous, then I'm sure we can attract a lot of our own budding people who are creating apps, or and then we are not dependent on Google and other giants, and we can probably have the finances within our own country. Last time, in the last video, we had discussed the simmering fight between the Azerbaijan and Armenia. Now, as a further development, I had predicted that with Azerbaijan and Armenia fighting, I predicted that Russia and probably Iran will jump into the fray. But all of a sudden, a new player has jumped in, and this time the jumped in player is Turkey, and Azerbaijan has handed over its entire air command to Turkey. And in the this Nagorno and Karabakh area, and there has been claims that a lot of Armenian aircrafts have been shot down and so on and so forth. But now one should understand that Turkey is trying to flex its muscles now in the area and trying to be probably a new world, or on the new PowerPoint for the Islamic world. So this point will further come up again. I will say a good thing we saw. Hong Kong, we know that there was a protest going on for its own autonomy, sorry, for Hong Kong and other thing. But somehow this time, on Chinese National Day holiday, we could see Indian national flag being waved in the streets of Hong Kong. So it is the kind of impact that we are making in our global policy by standing up against China. Now Hong Kong looks towards the India, and we can in during that thing we could say that we stand by India. This slogans were heard during that time, so it's a good thing for us. The erstwhile Prime Minister of Pakistan, Nawaz Sharif, said that his government had reverse engineered the US cruise missiles which were developed in Pakistan, claiming to be their own. But he said these were the missiles which US had launched against Al Qaeda in Afghanistan, but which had landed in Balochistan. So we always had a doubt on their nuclear capability, missile capabilities, and other thing. But here, a prime minister coming and claiming it. Just a info point. Now, with the conflict going on and simmering up and above, Putin, Trump, and Macron had urged Azerbaijan and Armenia to declare a ceasefire. And but here again, if you see, such world leaders are requesting for a ceasefire, but this President Tayyip Erdogan, he says that the conflict will only end if Armenian forces pull back. So this guy is trying to get into the picture everywhere and trying to prove something. So role of Turkey in Middle East is a big present day question. Again a welcome move, the defense ministry has signed a contract for 10 lakh hand grenades for army. Nothing new in signing hand grenades for army, but this time it is not through the OFBs. It is a civil Nagpur based company, and this company is giving hand grenades which have multi mode, and it can be used both in offensive and defensive mode. And these grenades will be replacing the grenades which the Indian Army uses, almost like World War II vintage. So it's a good step. Nice to see private players coming up. And with private players coming up, yes, there will be now pressure building up on the ordnance factories across India, which have been kind of a white elephant. Hope they improve their production and the quality thing. So please expect that if there is a question as to how can privatization of defense industry in India lead to a positive or a negative change in overall armed forces capabilities. In a statement amid standoff with the line of actual control, the US said that it recognizes the state of Arunachal Pradesh as India's territory, and it has been recognizing it from almost 6 decades, and it will continue to do so. This was when a statement came from China saying that Arunachal is their own southern Tibet, and it is their country. So Again, a diplomatic win for India. If you see, the PM Oli of Nepal has been against India for reasons many we know. He is more inclined towards the Z government of Nepal, and he has been facing a lot of opposition, criticism, whatever it is. But India has till date never openly criticized anything, because India very well understands that the Nepalese people are with India, except for Oli and probably one odd minister who are in the top ranking diplomats of their country, who are inclined towards Oli. Oli has kept mum when Nepal has encroached onto Nepal's land and also have built 9 buildings and other thing. Yet, notwithstanding, India has gifted about 641 ambulances and 6 school buses to Nepal on Gandhi Jayanti as a goodwill gesture, and India has been doing so. And there is a recent development of our army chief also onto that which I'll cover up. An SMT point, researchers have kind of developed a mobile radar device which can rescue buried people. This is a device which detects the people's pulse and breathing when they are buried underground. So, this device works by emitting waves. The name of the device is yet to be made public. However, it is a point to be noted that these devices will soon be mounted on a drone and fly over the disaster site, thereby reducing the time to rescue somebody. And it can almost, once in airborne, it can search almost a hectare sized area very quickly, instead of you going along with sniffing dogs and manual equipment. In a surprising move, there are theories which are going around that Pakistani army is fighting in as Azerbaijan against Armenia. Though Pakistan has been denying this, but there are reports that Pakistan had sent some of its troops in terms of Mujahideens, as keeps doing it. Probably Pakistan is the only country which does not I even recognize Armenia as a country, and I feel it is doing under the pressure of Turkey, or it is trying to probably make Turkey happy for its fun. And Pakistan is presently probably a month away from getting a decision into the FATF, whether it will continue to be in grey list or it will go to blacklist. Everything is dependent. So he is trying whatever means he can to join forces or join sides to uh, come over his financial crunch in his country. Okay, coming on to the Azerbaijan and Armenia conflict. The Armenia Foreign Ministry had said that he is ready to engage with the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, that is called as OSCE, to establish ceasefire. It wants a ceasefire in the regions of Nagorno and Karabakh region. And the France, Russia, and US, which co-chair the OSEC Minsk group, had called for a ceasefire. But again, Turkey says that these three nations should not have no role in the peace talks. Again, is going loggerheads. Fine with it. Okay, coming to Indian Army, Indian armies are likely to get a secure communication systems at a cost of about 7,800 crores. And the Defense Ministry had stated that the enhanced network coverage in the forward area, and it will be given to boost the operational preparedness of the army, especially with the kind of tensions which are going around in the LAC. A Shaurya missile, initially we had seen two. This time, the nuclear capable Shaurya missile was test fired, and the target can be struck at around 800 kilometers from the launch site, and it would be inducted into the strategic forces to compensate the existing missiles in the same class. We have an existing missile in the same class too, so it will, since the new Shaurya missile is lighter and easy to operate as compared to the present one with less of the paraphernalia, so it will be slowly replacing the existing ones. Kalpana Chawla, the female astronaut of Indian descent, on her name, a cargo ship was named on her. This cargo ship was launched from NASA, and it was Virginia, and it left it is basically carrying 8,000 pounds of scientific investigations, technology demonstrators, the commercial products and other cargo for the ISS, International Space Station, and it has reached and successfully docked there. A good example of the cooperation between the nations: US military aircraft P-ACE Poseidon. This is basically a maritime recce aircraft, and this had landed in our base at Andaman and Nicobar Islands for refueling. And we had this agreement that whatever is there, last time I had covered that Indian bases will be used by the foreign friendly foreign countries for refueling and other purposes. So in that series, this P8 was refueled. And similarly, in September, a US tanker refueled the Indian ship in the Indian Ocean region also. So this is a good step, and I think this is a kind of deterrence what is required now against China. We had last time discussed the Atal Tunnel. Everybody has known about it. Very quick details about Atal Tunnel. Initially, you had to, from Manali to Rohtang Pass, it used to take about 2 to 4 hours, and from Rohtang Pass to Sisu, it used to take about 1.5 hours. So basically, it was a journey of around 6 hours. But now what is happening is, instead of going towards Rohtang Pass, you go towards Dhundi, and from Dhundi to Susi, it becomes only 10 minutes. So the entire thing is cut down. You can, if you can see here, it is very clear now. From Manali, you go till Palchan is this. From Palchan, you used to take this path to Rohtang, and from Rohtang you used to go crossing the Garampu and Koksar, and then going to Teling. But now from Palcham you go to Dhundi, and from Dhundi it is just 10 minutes drive up to Teling. So this is a very good marvel of engineering, I must say, which has cut almost 5 hours of a journey to about 1.5 hours. Some very important features of this tunnel is that we have already discussed that it is 69 kilometers, reducing the distance of 69 kilometers. Just takes about 10 minutes for it. There are some rules and regulations in it. It is that the first 400 meters and the last 400 meters of the tunnel, there the speeds will be 40, and rest inside the tunnel it will be around 80 kilometers per hour. And this is to maintain the speed and no jamming of jams being put inside the tunnel. And some very good features in this is this entire tunnel has got an air ventilation system, with fresh air being taken and used air being pumped out, exhaust being pumped out. It has got a telephone facility every 200 meters, a CCTV camera at every 150 meters, and a fire hydrant at every 60 meters. In addition to this, it is almost 8.5 meter wide road, and if you see, it has got a duct, low voltage duct, cable duct, and also the drain system and an emergency escape system also in case of something happens. So it has been very well thought of and has been made very well, and it is appreciated everywhere. China is trying hard again to make its influence in Bangladesh. He stays these President Xi has said that he's ready to take China Bangladesh strategy to a new heights, and China wants a better aligned to its strategies with Bangladesh, and he is promoting his Belt and Road Initiative BRI. And let's see how does Bangladesh go ahead with his part. Now, yet again, this is a very good system, and I somehow never knew it, and I was happy to learn about this. India has successfully tested a supersonic smart missile. Now, what is smart missile? It is smart missile, full form is supersonic missile assisted release of torpedo. So basically, it means that this is a torpedo, and the torpedo will be first fired like a normal missile from the ground. It goes into the air, and when it is close by and then hits into the sea, it travels majority of distance in the air, and when it is nearby the target, then it falls down into the sea, or rather gets into the sea, and from there onwards, from a cruise missile, it turns into a torpedo, and finally it covers a lesser distance and hits the enemy ship, target, whatever it is. So this way we are able to hit targets which are far, far away, and also come to the immediate rescue of Navy in case of some things which are detected or some other things. So I really like this technology. It's a real major breakthrough technology in standoff capabilities in anti-marine warfare. What I was telling earlier was India also has now trying to make a stand, make it say a little stronger. In this way, we have now Myanmar. We are going ahead with Myanmar, helping out them. Recently, Army Chief General Naravne and the Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan handed over the vials, 3,000 vials of remdesivir, that is basically COVID medicines, to Myanmar. And US also, if you see, has started up doing his ante against the China, and in its latest communique, the Chinese Communist Party members will now be ineligible to immigrate to US and its citizenship. I feel it's a good step. Let's see, and maybe it can be a political stunt with now politics, or rather elections around the corner, possible, which may be pulled back again. But as of now, certainly yes, there is some kind of pressure which is being exerted by US. The BRICS summit, basically Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa summit. It will be for the first time held virtually, and it is a chair of, as of now, Russia is the chair of this five nation bloc. And the theme of this meeting of BRICS is basically global stability and shared security and innovative growth. Let's see what's the outcome of this. I don't expect much to happen here because the other two parties being China and Russia. Oh, this fortnight has been again a series of Nobel Prize winners. Just be aware as to what all prizes were there and who all did it. The Nobel Prize for 2020 medicine was shared by three people, that is Harvey Alter, Michael Houghton, and Charles Rice, and they were given the Nobel Peace Prize for discovery of hepatitis C virus. So, just suffices to remember, medicine Nobel Prize for hepatitis C virus. Okay, on the sidelines of Triad, the External Affairs Minister Jaishankar met the US Secretary Mike Pompeo on Tokyo on Tuesday, and this was the first time that these two ministers are meeting after the standoff with China. So again, this is a, sorry, I said Triad, but it is Quad. My mistake, please. Um, the world is now slowly taking their view and attention towards the Uyghur minorities in China, and 39 nations have now asked China to respect the minority and human rights of the minorities in the Xinjiang province of China. China will not never he will never accept that he is doing something wrong, and neither does any country as of now has any capability to influence pressure on China. Okay, the next Nobel Prize for chemistry, again, it has been shared this time between the Emanuela and Jennifer Doudna, and they have got this for CRISPR, or it is also called as Cas9 genetic scissor. This basically scissors was used in which he says that they can cut the DNA structure and take out the part and again put it back. So basically, a genetic scissor which has been used to curing inherent diseases. This probably with scissor will be the used one to cure things which are hereditary and can never be cured in your genes. So Nobel Prize for chemistry goes there. Tripura launches the bamboo rice, and CM says it is affordable. It is a good thing that our northeast states are coming onto the map. And initially, the Tripura had launched bamboo products such as bamboo flask, bamboo water bottles, and now he says bamboo rice. So, I feel it is a good step by these states also now into coming into the mainstream of India rather than staying aloof onto the side. Every year, this is a science phenomena from an SMT point of view. It's every year there is a hole which occurs over Antarctica, and somehow this year this ozone hole has been the highest with 24 million square kilometers in early October, and it is about largest since in recent years. So suffices to know that this hole gets automatically gets covered again, but as of now it has been discovered due to the hot air, sorry, not hot air, the earth gases which are there. Again, a Nobel Prize, this time in literature, was shared by, not shared, sorry, single by Lewis, and it is basically her, she is a poet, American poet, and uh, she has published about 12 collections of poetry and some volume in essay and poems. So, another sorry, not a normal prize, but this time the Nobel Peace Prize was awarded to the World Food Program. It is kind of a program not awarded to an individual but to the entire program, and the World Food Program has made a strong contribution towards the mobilizing UN member states to combat use of hunger as a weapon of war and conflict. So a good thing, okay for it. As time progressed, Armenia and Azerbaijan have agreed to attend first talks in Russia to end the conflict. And on the words of Putin, let's see what happens. Again, another missile for India. This time, the fifth one. It is the called as Rudram anti-tank, sorry, anti-radiation missile, and this time it has been test fired from a Sukhoi 30 aircraft in the eastern coast of India. It was fired from a Sukhoi, and it was against an anti-radiation. Basically, any radar which is transmitting or picking up the enemy aircraft, it radiates, and the echo gets reflected back to it. So this radiation path is what this missile seeks, and it gets into that path and it destroys the radiating radar. So it's a Rudram. Name is Rudram, and it is an anti-radiation missile. The Taiwan uh, has thanked India for its support on its National Day. Before Taiwan National Day, China had officially given a statement, or rather, it gave a kind of a subtle warning to India that it should not support Taiwan. Taiwan is part of one nation, and it is China. It is not to be addressed separately. But India never went ahead and wished the Taiwan, and Taiwan also reciprocated in the same way and thanked India for its support. Now, last fortnight, when we discussed about the Chinese debt trap on Sri Lanka, we were discussing about the Hambantota port, but now suddenly again in like a U-turn. Now China somehow seems to have gained the trust of Sri Lanka again, and now Sri Lanka has given a statement that the port is, they are not in any kind of a debt trap, and it is a good project which is going on, and it will generate a lot of employment and income, which I have my serious doubts. But point to note is that the port has been handed over to Chinese firm for about 99 years of lease. So I don't think Sri Lanka has any say in that now. It is, China is already using it as a base. As of now, it says it's a naval base, but you can be rest assured that they must be doing all the other businesses what it should be. Armenia and Azerbaijan have finally agreed on to the ceasefire brokered by Russia. Let's see, but I still have my doubts. It is said that China is helping Pakistan to set up missile systems in Pakistan occupied Kashmir to um, counter India on two fronts. It is said that about 130 Pakistani personnel and 40 civilians are working on this construction site, and it is located in the Bahag district. So, why is China interested in POK? Because it hits the road, the CPEC goes through it, and he wants to gain some kind of a nuisance value from the western border, so that the Indian forces can be divided into two, and he can take a lead in the eastern borders. But I think we India is prepared for the two front threat, and our air chief has very clearly given out in the press saying that he is ready for both two front threat. Again, SMT point. The scientists have discovered the fastest possible speed of sound. I used to think that speed of the sound is constant; it remains constant. But I was also surprised that the the fastest possible speed, that is, the result is about 36 kilometers per second, and it is around twice as fast as the sound of speed, fast as the speed of sound in diamond. And as of now, we only knew that the speed of sound is constant, but it has been discovered that it has got an upper limit also. So news for me, maybe of some use to you. So, as just as a recap for the entire thing, we have our six missiles which have taken its spot in this fortnight, and all you can see is BrahMos, Rudram, Smart, Shaurya, the hypersonic test demonstrator vehicle, the laser guided anti-tank anti-tank guided missile which were there. So this can form a part of question. Let's see, and I am sure India, with the help of the technology, it will do much better in the coming days in the missile technology. And a great step, which can be seen as a very good step, or for India, it is Malaysia has detained 60 Chinese national and 6 of their vessels for trespassing into the country waters. So the Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency, MMEA, has restrained them, and though the Malaysia has been saying that it is about the 89 intrusions by Chinese ship which has happened in 2016 to 19, but they never did such kind of a step. So maybe a small step, but a very big message which is going across the world now. Sorry, a Nobel Prize, I know it is haphazard, but I keep collecting them as the events happening key events happen. The Nobel Prize for economics has been shared by Paul and Robert Wilson, and the Nobel Prize has been given for improvements to auction theory and their inventions for a new auction format. As for them, during an auction which is happens, the similar objects interrelated can also be auctioned in the same manner. So this way, maximum benefits will occur to both the buyer and the seller. So let's see if it is put into use very soon. Same thing, China awards Sri Lanka about 656 crores grant after Chinese delegation visit, which we are discussing just now. Sri Lanka is slowly getting into a debt trap, not knowing to itself, and constantly saying that no, they are not under any kind of a pressure. Internal politics and internal simmering in Pakistan is on rise. There have been huge protests in Pakistan and Pakistan's Gilgit-Baltistan area, and there have been in the main cities of Lahore and Karachi. You find them. The sects in Muslim, that is Shia and Sunni, are on the loggerheads. There have been fighting, and the Sunni Muslims have been on a rampant spree over the Shia Muslims. So thing which has to be kept tab on to know what is happening ahead. Along with ISRO satellites, Hughes India have now promised to deliver internet to about 5,000 villages under the BBNL's BharatNet project. Just remember this BharatNet project, what is it? And so you should be able to answer that it is a collaboration with Hughes and ISRO's communication satellites, and it provides high speed broadband access to about 2.5 lakh gram panchayats which will be connected, which lack the terrestrial connectivity, and also those Naxal affected areas, etc. etc. Again, Russia, Armenia, Azerbaijan. I still say the situation is fluid. It is very too preempt for me to conclude something on this. It is a point of focus as of now. Let's see what the outcome is. In a very rare and a surprising thing, the countries which have been the most abusive of the human rights of, like Pakistan, China, Russia, have been elected to UN's Human Right Council, and the they are the ones who have been elected to this council, and it is facing a lot of criticism all over the world. Now I think there can be a major question, or rather you also can think on lines that what if India also decides to come out of the UN body like what US had done? Is there, are we really gaining something from being a part of UN, or is it time for India to leave UN? So that part of a thing can be discussed on or thought about. The BSNL, which has been going in losses, the government now says that all government ministries, PSUs will have to compulsorily use the BSNL landlines for their communication. Basically, this is maybe a step for them to pull out from the losses which has been incurring, but the condition remains same. A thing to be noted in future as to how things will progress of this. Again, same thing. US has also criticized UN over China and Russia's election to Human Rights Council, and though it is out of it, but still many countries are opposing it. The STARS policy, one is the STARS project, which was there for the missile project, and this is a STARS project which is for the new education policy. The STAR, which means basically strengthening teaching, learning and results for states. So this is the STARS policy which has been announced by Javadekar, and there will be a separate assessment institution that will come into force. And this is basically to achieve the fundamental literacy in India. Army Chief General Naravne is likely to visit Nepal in November, wherein he is supposed to be conferred the rank of the General of Nepal. Uh, but just now, rather, it about 10 minutes back, I learned that Oli government has dismissed the the defense minister of Nepal, and he has taken the defense portfolio into his own hands. Now he will look after the defense portfolio. But this is seen as something to do with this his Naravne's visit. Let's see what finally works out. Sorry for that. US government is calling for an alliance between India and US on a panel for artificial intelligence. I feel it's a very good thought process, because India is a growing market and also a think tank as far as the artificial intelligence and the our new generation is concerned. So if this strategy works out well, it will give Indo-Pacific. It has give the Indo-Pacific strategy a good boost, and the other members like Australia, Japan, New Zealand, South Korea, and Vietnam are likely to join in it. Which when it learns when it is launched. UAE has his its own strategic oil reserves placed in India at Mangalore. So, till date, UAE could sell only 35% of its reserves in India to the refineries, and another 15% was supposed to be taken. The permission was taken to from the government of India for the oil companies. However, now India has allowed US to sell its 50 up to 50% of its oil reserves, which it is placed in Mangalore Strategic Petroleum Reserves (SPR). So let's see how is it helpful for us in many ways. SPR has about 5 million metric tons of crude oil capabilities of storing. 604 people killed in the conflict going on between Azerbaijan and the Armenia. Again, it's an ongoing process, so too early to comment something. SMT point. Now, the Google Smart Glasses will let the users talk on video calls hands free. You can keep doing your job. By the same time, you just all you have to do is wear your glasses and keep speaking. You can speak the look at the other person. You have a video on your own in front of your eyes, and your whatever you talk is being heard by him. So, think about this equipment in the armed forces and how it can be augmented with the AI. And when you are going into an enemy territory, unknown territory, wherein you getting the real time updates from your support team, which is back there. So, well, that's it, friends. That's all from my side this fortnight. And please stay subscribed to this channel. And if you like it, do tell others. And if you don't like it, just drop a comment for me. And that's it. I hope you are having a wonderful time. Take care. Bye bye.